At Smoking Dick's Barbecue, they pride themselves on rich history of serving authentic Texas barbecue. And that passion for great barbecue drives them to use only the finest meats and smoking woods in every dish created. Smoking Dick's Barbecue is serving Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. or until they sell out. Have any questions about catering for an upcoming event? Give us a call at 806-543-3767. That's 806-543-3767. Follow Smoking Dick's Barbecue on Facebook. Smoking Dick's Barbecue, half a block west of Highway 84 at 114 West 4th Street, Post, Texas.
All right, that's Russ Morris. I'm Jim Plummer, and we are at the 62nd Annual Garza County Junior Livestock Show. And thank you all for being with us for the afternoon version. Earlier today, we went from about 9 to just past noon, over a 3-hour stream. We brought you the presentation of the heifers, the steers, the swines, the pee-wee swines. And coming up now, we got the lambs, the goats, and the pee-wee goats. And it should be a fairly short afternoon, I guess, but I see a lot of lambs and goats back there.
Well, there's always more. I mean, it looks like a lot, but it's not really a lot, because the lambs and goats, this thing will fly by very quickly.
All right, so
we're ready to get started on this afternoon's show. The first thing we have up is our Southland show, and we're going to go ahead and get started.
All right, so this is the first class of our lambs. This is the Southland division. Abigail Ellie and Addison Valdez are in this class. The grand champion buckle.
Our Southtown Exhibitors are Abigail L. and Addison Valdez.
Grand champion buckle is once again sponsored by Texas Farm Bureau, and the reserve grand champion buckle is sponsored by Chuck and Christy Morris. The senior showmanship for the lamb on Thursday went to Asher L. And the junior showmanship went to Ryland Morris. Once again, I want to remind everybody that the top hand showmanships for the junior and senior will be announced at the Garza County Junior Livestock Association Buyers Meal and Sale on Thursday, January 15th. Your lamb and goat superintendent is Nancy Morris. And your advisors for the stock show today are Gary Gilliland, a Post High School ag instructor, Brad Gatos, the Southland School ag instructor, and Dania Peterson, the Garza County extension agent. Just once again, we want to thank everybody that had a hand in putting this show together. President Augie Menchaca, Vice President Matt Dorsett, Recording Secretary Patrick Carroll, Past President Will Osborne, Corresponding Secretary Crystal Osborne, and your three 25-26 members at large for your GCJLA officers, Joel Basinger, Orrin Brooks, and Rick Tadlock. So notice with your lambs, unlike, well, maybe occasionally with goats, you might see some with or without. Lambs, you're not going to see halters on these lambs. So you have to really work with your lamb and make sure that you're able to earn his trust, where you can just rely on leading it around without a halter or a rope. And I believe the judge has made his decision.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. As we kind of kick off the afternoon and finish up with our sheep and goat show, and we begin our afternoon session with a nice class here at Southland sheep, and I think a good pair that fit together well. And certainly there's some differences, like both of them a good bit, just from the design and build. I think they're all going to be open and give you some muscle and some shape, and kind of how they're pieced together and put together. So I think there are some differences. The young lady on the end here with the ULM is one that's really a deep neck, long neck, one that runs uphill, small shoulder, really clean up your breastplate and brisket. And then when you get over your hands on the top side, I think with the symmetry and lines, it opens up the top of the skeleton well, shapely and muscular, and then it's got a really good flat, wide loin that's got some depth and some dimension to it as it works back into a good square hip and roll. And I think a real good, again, good lines, but a really good handle. The young lady next to her with the weather, has got one it's a big center, big back. This thing is really, really broad, opens up the top of the skeleton. Got a huge wrap working there with muscle and shape that's jerked apart. It's got a good edge to it. Come back into a good wide loin. Doesn't have quite as much depth and edge to the loin. Maybe rolls off just a little more this time at this stage of this ride, but a really good pattern that goes built when it's got a long square hip, got some bone and feature in it. Probably leads into kind of one of those lighter middleweight classes. I'm sure moving forward that will be along as well. I'd like to give a lady in the class and maybe her pictures are. Congratulations.
Congratulations to Addison Valdez. She is your Southdown Division champion. Abigail L. is your Southdown Reserve Division champion. Up next is your Fine Wool Cross division for your lamb. In this class, it is Rylan Morris and Audrey Lee.
Congratulations to Addison Valdez, your being breed champion for the Southdown Lambs, and our reserve breed champion is Miss Abigail Bell. Our final cross exhibitors are Rylan Morris and Audrey Lee.
class here at Crossings, and I think just a nice fair. I think off the side here, ringside, I think you can see, I think their lines meet well. They've got some symmetry and some look to them. I think both of them give you some extension up front in terms of their necks, right, kind of on the top side of their shoulder. They're both just really, they've got some bone and some feature underneath. And, it was a time we probably didn't talk much about that, but it's obviously a bigger issue today than it has been in my time. And so I think those things are really good here. Just individually, the young man with the brother on the end here, there's one that presents some muscularity. He gets you up over the top of him, and he handling there, gives some shape up out of his rack, and he's got some roll and some edge to that, and he works back into a good wide loin, and he's got a good turn and shape to his rib, gives you a good hip and an upper hip that's thick, and then when you get in behind him, he's muscular, and he's got a strong dimension of leg and thickness working through him there. He's one of those, I think, when we kind of turn the screws on him a little bit and really dial him in there, and his end point, you like a lot of things about it, the components and the edges are there, but he's in a good spot. He's got some condition on him, and you kind of have to have that moving forward there. I think he's in a good place. The young ladies, doing up there is awful good, and just from a design standpoint, I think you like the body and the shape, the body shape of that one is good. That was long enough up to his front, maybe not as deep packaged as maybe as a counterpart or contemporary there, but that one's got some length of hip, got some dimension and thickness to his leg. You can go right to her forearm, and she gives you some muscularity there. Probably up the two, she may carry a little bit more right to her front, her chest plate, bristle area, might like that, tuck and clean that just a nickel bit, but that's a good feeling of that young lady as well. So a real close feel, quite a young lady in the class here, getting ready to be second. Congratulations on these guys.
Congratulations to Ryland Morris. He is your fine wool cross division champion. Audrey Lee is your
Congratulations to our breed champion, Ryland Morris, for the fine wool cross class, and our reserve division champion, Audrey Lee.
Audrey Lee takes on the reserve division champion of the fine wool cross. Next is your medium wool. We have 3 classes: lightweight, medium weight, and heavyweight. This upcoming class will contain exhibitors of Addison Valdez, Asher L, and Audrey Lee. Then there's one class of medium weights, and then one class of heavyweights. And we move right along to the goats. As I'm following along my program. So while we're at it, I want to send a congratulations to the graduating seniors 2026 who are participating in this year's Garza County Junior Livestock Show.
Lightweight class. Our exhibitors for this class are Addison Valdez, Asher L, and Audrey Lee.
Your seniors who are exhibiting animals in this year's stock show from Post ISD are Reese Huffaker, Ryland Morris, and Cody Osborne. And then the lone senior from Southland ISD is Audrey Lee.
And she's out there now, right? Blue shirt.
Yes. Again, just to continue on a talking point that we had during the Pee Wee Pig Show. You know, if you ever wonder if your young one is ever interested in wanting to show an animal, just bring them out here to the stock show and get them going with the Pee Wee Goat Show and the Pee Wee Pig Show, and it's actually a great gauge of interest for the young one to see if they like the animals, and if it's something that they want to pursue, then let them do it. It's a great way to learn time management, character. It's a way to develop a work ethic and just get things going. It's also a good scholarship avenue as well.
It was a good turnout for this one.
You know, because, yeah. Oh. Audrey's Lamb's being a little bit stubborn. But yeah, so even though we know that Post has a rich tradition with football, we also know that this town is centered around the oil field and the ag industry. Pretty much is where it thrives. So this is a great way to get your kids involved if it, once again, it is something they want to do. And my little brother and I grew up in it, and we enjoyed every bit of it, and it's what helped me get through tech a little bit was all the scholarship money from this. So.
Oh, yeah. Lots of great supporters of the program.
Yeah, I started this around 2007, 2008, and Judge Lee and Marcia Norman, they've been a partner. They've been sponsor of this event for as long as I can remember. Farm Bureau as well, and the Garza County Animal Hospital. I want to thank Rafter 3, the Post Stampede Rodeo, Polka Lambro, Lenagar Electric Co-op, Black Gold. Can't see a logo with the boards covered up underneath, but HF&C is another one. And then, as I mentioned earlier in the morning, you know, two sponsors that you'll never hear us mention on a UIL broadcast, but shout out to Brady's Package Store and the Wine House for all that they've done for the community.
To make it clear, this is not a UIL broadcast.
And HPS, so the banner hanging just above the.
Yeah, it's Hudgens Pump Service. It's a water well service company. If I get a chance, I'll tell you maybe I told you last year about my sheep shearing experience, my one and only.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that? You would have remembered. I'll have to tell it later.
I'm reading the Hudgens Pump Service, and if I read the fine print correctly, they're based out of Tahoka, what it looks like from up here.
Yes. That is a banner above the booth in front of you, but our sign 2026 Garza County Junior Livestock Show is covering it up. Most importantly, we wouldn't be streaming right now if it wasn't for our three big sponsors today. Smoking Dick's Barbecue, Flow Health and Fitness, and Buffalo Creek Threads. All three of them came in at the last minute to help us do this, so we appreciate them very much. And Crystal Osborne for supporting us and getting those sponsors for us, as a matter of fact.
Good class of lights that we have here. I like all three of these again. Ringside there, and you're just looking at them on the profile. I think they all have some symmetry and balance and look to them. Just kind of talking individually. The gentleman on the end of the weather's got one that's he's a big scale, big outline one that's he's got a really good look. His posture's good when he gets out and both on the move and when he gets him set up. This one opens up the top of his rack really well and gives you some shape, and he's the leanest and the trimmest in terms of his handle when you get up over his gate. gives you just a shot more shape than maybe some of the others. He's got a really good handle there. The work back in the loin is wide and it's laid in there correctly. It maybe is a little more washed today relative to his contemporaries here. But that one's got a long hip. He gives you some bone and some substance, and I think he does it in a good package. The other lady in the center's got the one that really is, meets a lot of checks a lot of the boxes. If you're just going to get out here on the side and look at length of body relative to his height and his posture up front, I think super neat in terms of his head and neck and coming out the top side of his shoulder. He's elevated. His bottom lines are good in terms of his depth to his chest and back to his center body. I think he has a really good look. That one reads as being Vince bone and leg and skeleton. You study him from the surface all the way up, and where he ties into his technique. That one reads with a shot more feature, maybe than the others. I like the way he runs uphill. He gives you some shape. I don't know what I can just describe here. It gives you some shape with over his rack. Maybe he gets just a little bit more closed up there. Maybe doesn't have quite the spread as maybe another one. But that one reads and handles very well in terms of having some shape. And then getting back to his loin, he's got more depth in the bench and loin. Really incredibly wide and she ties into a very low level hip and row with the long hindsight. Her handset's good with the thickness behind. So one that, again, is very well built, put together, and looks awfully good both on the handle, but also right there. The young ladies, you went on the end here, kind of the newer belted one, is one that is just got incredible turns to her skeleton. This body cavity, body shape of that one is very, very good. She's very the most conditioned of the group, and I think you can read that up to her front. It's just a big old lower time, so she shows it out of her when she gets her stuff here, but that one's got tremendous broad, wide top and rack coming, working back into a big wide loin, and a good big rump, and a thick end and pin set to get right back behind her. So the question kind of for me is what are we at in terms of condition? I'd like that shot more hard muscle shape there. I'd just like to carve her up some, and I think probably in the ideal world that's what we do with that one. Just give that thing a little more roll and just hard muscle shape, roll with that one pretty good. So good class though. Tell you how placed the one in the middle young lady would like this to be class winner. She'll be second on the end. He'll be third right here. Congratulations all.
Congratulations to Addison Valdez. She's your class champion. Audrey Lee, the class runner-up, and Asher L. in third place.
Congratulations for our lightweight medium role class to Addison Valdez, who is in first place, Audrey Lee, who came in second, and Asher L. came in third. We will move into the medium weight, medium role, and our exhibitors will be Ryland Morris and Cody Osborne.
So up next is our medium weight and medium wool. Cody Osborne and Ryland Morris are in this class. Cody, he had a class champion cross-bred pig earlier this morning. And if you were to ask Crystal during football season, she was very taken aback that Cody made the decision to show a lamb because she thought they were done after Cooper showed lambs and goats last year. She thought all they would do was pigs, but no, Cody said, you know what, I want to show a lamb. So he's going to show a lamb in this class, and then later on during the goat show, he's going to help Owen Cole show one of her goats. And for those new to the stream, Owen Cole, that is Max Cole's little sister.
You saw Max around here somewhere, who played in the basketball game last night.
She played a full game last night, which is better than how he played earlier in the Tuesday game when he fouled out against New Deal.
Max likes to be aggressive. We know that. On the gridiron as well as the hardwood.
Once again, your grand champion belt buckle is sponsored by Texas Farm Bureau. Reserve grand champion belt buckle is sponsored by Chuck and Christy Morris, and this is for the Lamb show. As I go through the program, there's some other buckles that need to get sponsored. The junior showmanship and senior showmanship belt buckles are both sponsored by Win Resources.
So both of these young gentlemen are seniors.
Yes.
This is their last Garza County event.
Good pair here, and I like both of these a good bit. I think ringside, you can see the elevation they got in the front end. They got a neat neck and a good package, and they're getting ropes around good. And those things have got big looks to them. I think both of them give you some arm and some angle up front that you like. Their sound in terms of being able to go and use their limbs. Both of them are good enough to get a chest plate up to their front end. They just give you a good design, a good build. Just individually, the young man with green shirt's got one that's really put together well. You talk about one that's constructed with broadness and shape to his rack and width that he maintains as he comes back into his loin. And I think he transitions into his hip really well. He doesn't teach, he maintains some tension of muscle. Both spread and some depth of it as he works back into a long square hip and drum. I like this one's the design of his hip and his leg. He carries his muscle down maybe a shot lower than his contemporary there. But he's got a really good set, good pin set behind, and you read him well. I think he's tired enough, but he still gives you enough body. You read him up to his heart and into his front third. So a real good type of lamb. It's something that got high ceiling. Fun to see how he ends up as you get ready toward February and March. The one in his contemporary, the young man in the checkered shirt, nice lamb, good fronted, neat looking. He too has got some shape and some muscle working up out of his rack. He not have quite as much turn and just roll in true shape as maybe his contemporary there, but that one's got some width and dimensional loin. He wants to tie in just a little bit coarser right into his loin, hip junction there. We just like to feather that out, give a little more depth and puff, and I think you can do that. Obviously, with the nutrition program, with moving forward, that would be what maybe want to kind of fix that. So his lines and levels are good. He's got a good hip. He gives you plenty of leg when you get in behind him. His pin set's good. He didn't have quite as much stifle maybe as what we had with the young man in front of him. But again, being very picky of a good pair and two good sheets here. I like the young man in green shirt to win the class.
Congratulations to Rylan Morris with his medium weight class champion. And Cody Osborne takes home class runner-up.
Congratulations to our medium gold class champion. First place, Rylan Morris, and second place, Cody Osborne. That will move us into our heavyweight medium gold class. Our exhibitors are Rylan Morris and Rylan Morris.
Yeah, so Rylan has two lambs going against one another in the same class. Both are heavyweights.
So Ryland's being double teamed.
pretty much.
He's going to have to juke and jive and fake a little bit to get around these two lambs.
Well, depending on how the judge views his stuff, if Ryland comes away with the medium wool division champion, he's going to have 2 lambs go against each other for the grand champion lamb. So he's got Audrey Lee out there helping him show one of them. And Ryland is showing the one he prefers to show. That's usually how that works.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of like last night's basketball games. You know, you knew the Lopes were going to win.
Yeah.
So now we know that Ryland's going to win.
Yes.
You just hope the lamb he's holding will win instead of the other.
And I've seen it before where the one that you decide to show gets like second, and then the one that you're tabbed your helper or your buddy to show, if it wins, I've seen in the past the helper continue to show your lamb, and because
Oh, really?
superstitions.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the one. Yeah, this is the one aspect, I guess, other than track and foot and baseball, to say the least, where superstitions around here are very real. And I compare it to track because, you know, you as a jumper or a runner, you've got your marks where you take off for your relay, or you've got your marks set up where you want to take off for your triple jump. And then baseball is the easiest one because, number one, you don't ever talk about a no-hitter. And then you don't pack up the bag in the 9th inning with less than 3 outs.
It's the class 3, the blacks, and I think we got a nice pair here. And, there's some similarities, and there's certainly some differences. You know, we can talk to them individually. The young lady here has got one that is really good on the top side of this skeleton. He's in great shape and got good muscle turn to over his rack and back to his loin. I thought that was depth and spread to his loin is very, very good. And of course, got plenty of power and muscle from behind. But one that's really fresh. He's got not only width and dimension wanting to do. Speed is good, and he manages his feet and legs well, and he maintains his posture, his look, and it's really ideal from that standpoint. The top side of him, he's got a good handle to his rack. I thought this one, he gets a little more washed in his joint, and he's just a little flatter there today. And certainly, I think you fix those things moving forward. That one's got a big square hip and rump, and that's a lot of things. I think they're similar in terms of their bone, similar in terms of their length of front and neck. He's probably in the shot full posture, being a little more upright and forward at the top side of the shoulder, blade moving up. So very good package and good design. I'm going to use the young lady to win. I think she's got more shape and freshness there. She'll be last one, he'll be second.
So we have. So Dylan does win.
Rylan.
Rylan, I'm sorry.
Dylan's the older brother.
Who's here today? I'd like to mention some of the special guests here today. The announcer you just heard is Peyton Patterson, the principal from Post High School. Brad Bevel is the stock show judge, and the judge of the rabbits yesterday was Mandy Couch. Pee-wee judge we saw earlier with Judge Lee Norman. Sale auctioneer will be Stan Young. That's coming up on Thursday. Photographer walking around the arena is Ron Francis. And Jim Plummer, Russ Morris for Post Sports Radio, streaming it. It says in the program on Facebook, but it's actually on YouTube. That's okay.
So up next is going to be all. Well, no, we got to have a medium wool champion. Well, I guess Ryland's going to show the one that Audrey just showed for him. So everybody's trying to make sure the ducks are in a row. Last year, Jim, we did have a protest after one of the shows. I don't think that's going on now. I think what's going on is making sure everybody's got their lamb and making sure we're ready to go.
You got to have your lambs in a row or ducks in a row.
Yeah. Well, there was one, if I remember right, it was right after one of the division goats, or I think it was at this point last year, where we had a protest. Where somebody actually protested the results of, or tried to protest the results of the show, and it went away because it was basically based off of he say, she say, and I believe it's in the rules that if you actually believe that there is something that went on, you will pay $500 to get the investigation started. So if you actually are legit that it's a protest, you will fork up the money to get this protest started.
Put your money where your mouth is.
Which is the same rules that the Fort Worth stock show and San Angelo stock show go off of.
Wow. Yes.
But I don't think that's what's going on. I think they're trying to make sure that everybody's lambs are what they're supposed to be.
Well, while they're getting straightened out, I'm going to tell you a little bit about one of our streaming sponsors today. Are they about to get it straightened out?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll wait on this then.
Well, yeah, I think what they're waiting on is they're also trying to bring back your second places from your divisions. So that way, because as soon as we get done crowning a medium wool champion, we're going straight into the grand champion lamb. So, but you got time if you want to give somebody a shout out.
Yeah, let's go to Buffalo Creek Threads. They're a fresh, fun lifestyle boutique for the modern woman. Comfortable, casual style they've got for you ladies. Buffalo Creek Threads is a West Texas lifestyle boutique for the modern woman, and they cater to women of all ages and stages of life. Whether you are a mom or a grand or a student or a professional, Buffalo has a style just for you. Featuring tops and teens, bottoms, jeans, shorts, skirts, dresses and rompers, outerwear, plus sizes, consuela, fun little extras, and gift cards or more at Buffalo Creek Threads. Back to the show.
So just making sure. Okay, so we're just going straight into it. This is your championship lamb. I guess we don't have a medium wool champion. I guess they just went off of divisions. The lamb show and the goat show always confused me as a kid, Jim. Still confuses me to this day.
That was confusing, just what we experienced.
Well, because I think that's what they were going off of, because they just had 3 divisions of the same. I mean, they had 3 classes of the same division. So you didn't actually have a division champion, so I think they counted each as its own division. So they just went right into the championship drive, which is smart. Because, yeah, that's what's out there is grand champion lamb, reserve champion lamb. The grand champion belt buckle is sponsored by Texas Farm Bureau. And the reserve grand champion lamb buckle is sponsored by Chuck and Christy Morris. Then up next, once we crown our 2 champions for our lambs, we're going to move right into the goat show and get that underway. And then once we wrap up the goat show, it's the Pee Wee Goat Show, and then we're done. But you're right, Jim. We talked about it the other day. Having the rabbit show and the showmanship classes up a day ahead means we might get out of here by 4.
Yeah, sped things up. And it was just a little bit over 24 hours ago we hit the road to Abernathy for the basketball broadcast.
Yeah.
So these poor cameras and these poor announcers have been working hard the last 24 hours.
Shout out. Well,
Thank you, Wood. Join me in congratulating these kids and all of our exhibitors we've had here at the shoot show. This one, black division, the group out here. I like them a good bit. Obviously, we got a class up at the ringside. I like the design, build, and look in each of these. We started with that lightweight deal there, and just thin-legged, big-legged, good build body. It runs uphill, deep necks, and square hips, and I think it's a neat new way of playing that. Middleweight field, talk about him there a little bit. Again, similar, use the same terms to kind of describe all of them. I thought this one is fresh back, shapely, and really put together in an elite way.
They were both from the same class, so congratulations to Rylan, who is your grand champion lamb winner, and Cody Osborne, your reserve champion lamb winner.
We'll take about a 5-minute break, and then we'll start with our goat show.
So I'm sure you just heard Peyton Patterson say over the PA, we're going to take a 5-minute break. Then we'll move on to our last show of the day, which is the goat show.
And before we go, let's give another plug to Thursday night's dinner and sale, which will be happening this Thursday. So be sure to, if you want to get involved in supporting these kids even more, you can go to the dinner, and that starts at 6. Sale, the animals goes at 7, Russ. It's going to be where? Post high school? I believe it's the Commons.
Yes. Quick thing. The meal is at 6. The sale is at 7. And anybody, I believe, anybody that has sent in a business or a name or a company or whatever, you can bid on the kid and the animal because all the proceeds go to the youth of Garza County and their projects. So you are supporting them, and 9 times out of 10, this goes to help these kids go on to show at their majors and or turns into scholarship money as well. So this is a great way to get involved. If you truly, we talk about it all the time, people making an investment into the community. If you truly want to do it, this is the perfect way to do it. Kicking the year off doing this.
Exactly. Hey, this is the 62nd annual Garza County Junior Livestock Show. We're streaming it live and free. Post Sports Radio is producing it, and it's on our YouTube channel. So be sure, if you're watching now, want to watch it again, it'll be there soon after the broadcast. We're going to take a break and come right back with more of the show in just a moment. Sorry to interrupt that commercial. Here we go, back at the show. Started sooner than we expected.
Well, hold on. I don't think we're actually doing. They brought the lambs back in.
We have Madison Valdez with our Southland. Bradley Morris is by Boy Ross. Bradley Morris with his medium weight, medium wool.
Okay, so I'm reading the banner that the young lady is holding. So now we are going for grand champion. So once we're done doing this, then we'll take the 5-minute break.
Okay.
Audrey Lee with her twin wool cross. And Cody Osborne with his medium weight, medium wool. Congratulations to our champions.
Okay, so what you just saw show before, they awarded Rylan and Cody from the same class as your medium wool grand division and reserve division champion. So now what you're going for now is the grand champion lamb and reserve champion lamb. So that's why the banners are a different color, and they're a little bit bigger. So, as previously stated, once we are done crowning a champion lamb, then we will take the 5-minute break to get set for the goat show.
Okay.
I knew I wasn't crazy with my original process. Was like they didn't crown a medium division champion. They just went straight into bringing everybody back out there.
Another round of applause for all of our exhibitors here at the Chief Show this afternoon. Got a good group, and when I have big numbers, I keep hearing that, but I thought the quality's very good. And, the kids do a great job, both in presentation and just having the sheet. Really enjoyable deal for me to kind of work with these guys. Started with the Southland deal, that division, a two-header, but I thought two very good ones. One we led off with there, I thought that was an awfully good one. Had great design, great shape, and is muscular and lean, but has a nice look up front and still maintains volume and design. I thought our cross-thread division was good, and both of those were just big, burly sheep that give you a lot of shape and muscle, but yet they still had some design, some posture to them up front. I think they're clean enough in that regard. Both of them have got some condition on them. Hey, that's good by me. That was a good step. A good hit for me. So, like that group, of course, we finished up with the lights, and I thought that was very nice. And so, but anyway, I haven't taken anything away from any of them. I think we all know if you choose to go forward with it, you've got, you got good pieces, which is glad you love in that regard, and also look forward to seeing kind of how that ends up as you get your hand on one of these things. So, one more time, a round of applause again for the bird.
Congratulations, Rylan Morris. He is your grand champion lamb winner. Bell buckle is sponsored by Texas Farm Bureau. And now Rylan will switch to his other one. That was also a champion. He's got Zachary Gatos helping him out.
Russ, I did notice there's lots of coaching going out to the exhibitors from the stands in front of us.
Cody Osborne, reserve grand champion lamb. Congratulations.
Congratulations to our grand champion Ryan Morris and our reserve grand champion Cody Osborne.
So now we will break
Okay.
to get set for the goat show.
We'll give a shameless plug for Post Sports Radio. Coming up on Tuesday, Rawls comes to the Antelope Arena The girls' game's at 6:15. We'll start the broadcast around 6, and the boys' game to follow. So join us for the doubleheader this Tuesday. So we'll be back in just a moment.
10-minute break.
10-minute break. All right, we'll be back with a bunch of stuff, so hold on.
Buffalo Creek Threads is a fresh, fun lifestyle boutique for the modern woman. Comfortable, casual style you will love. Buffalo Creek Threads is a West Texas lifestyle boutique for the modern woman. They cater to women of all ages and stages of life. Whether you are a mom or a student or a professional, Buffalo has a style just for you. Featuring tops and tees, bottoms, jeans, shorts, skirts, dresses, and rompers, outerwear plus sizes, consuela, fun little extras, gift cards, and more. You can shop at the store on historic Main Street in Post, Texas, as well as on the road, or shopping the website at buffalocreekthreads.com. Located at 218 East Main Street here in Post, Texas. Phone number to call is 806-549-3598. Once again, that's 806-549-3598.
Let's talk about if you're a little bit hungry. You can't get hungry until Monday, though. Smoking Dick's Barbecue Company's open on Monday through Friday. Their hours are, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. or unless they sell out, which they do quite a bit. And at Smoking Dick's Barbecue, they pride themselves on the rich history of serving authentic Texas barbecue. And that passion for great barbecue drives them to use only the finest meats and smoking woods in every dish that they create. Smoking Dick's Barbecue is serving once again Monday through Friday, 11 to 6, or until they sell out. So they are very good about notifying you on Facebook if they sell out. So be sure to keep an eye on them on Facebook. Smoking Dick's Barbecue is one half a block west of Highway 84 at 114 West 4th. That's 114 West 4th Street in Post, Texas.
Flow Health and Fitness has 24/7 access, custom-made equipment, and offers something for every age and skill. Flow welcomes everyone. Now come experience the spa, massage therapy, float tank therapy, spray tan, and the yoga studio. The monthly gym fee is only $38 for full 24-hour access, which is very affordable. For seniors, your insurance may pay for the fee through Silver Sneakers and Renew Active. Whether you need a massage, a facial, a spa treatment, or a place where you can exercise, you need Flow Health and Fitness. Find it on Facebook or call 806-990-7035. That's 806-990-7035. It's Flow Health and Fitness, located at 812 North Avenue O in Post, Texas.
I just wanted to look real quickly and go back to yesterday, Friday, what happened out here. We were not here, weren't streaming. I just had something about that. The Showmanship Awards. There we go. You can help me with this. It looks like yesterday the Showmanship Awards went out to Reese Huffaker as a senior showmanship in the swine. Also Oakley Straw and Cash. In the steers, senior showmanship was Caleb Jones. The junior was Kai Baker. The senior showmanship for Rabbit was Quinn Corley, and the junior Sophia Hollis. The lamb showmanship senior award went to Asher Ellie. Asher L. And Rylan Moore's got junior showmanship.
Okay, now this one is flipped. The goat, you need to flip it on this one.
So the GOAT senior showmanship went to Rachel Arthur, and the junior showmanship went to Aaron Brooks. So congratulations to all those who participated in the activities yesterday.
Yeah, so that's a little Crystal accidentally left a typo on that one. She got the winners correct, but their places on that wrong.
I say, Crystal, you did a great job in preparing this packet, not just for us, but for all the attendees here at the show. And I know it took a lot of time to put it in there, but it's real easy to read. Makes sense. It's in order. Even guys like me or us can make heads or tails of it.
Let's give a quick shout out to everybody. Now, the Junior and Senior Top Hand Showmanship Awards, that is sponsored by the South Plains Veterinary Clinic. That will be awarded Thursday night at the Garza County Junior Livestock Association Buyers Meal and Sale. Your Grand Champion Heifer Belt Buckle was sponsored by Texas Farm Bureau. Grand Champion Steer, Texas Farm Bureau. Grand Champion Swine, Texas Farm Bureau. Grand Champion Rabbit, Texas Farm Bureau. Grand Champion Lamb, Farm Bureau. Now, speaking of the rabbits from yesterday, actually, the Buyers Meal and Sale will take place Thursday.
GCJLA homemaking division is still selling raffle tickets for the quilt that is on display in the concession stand if y'all would like to purchase any.
The Buyers Meal and Sale will take place on Thursday, January 15th at Post High School, located at 307 West 4th. Since it's at the high school, I believe it's going to take place in the Commons, where they mostly have everything else. The GCJLA says we are excited to invite you to our upcoming county livestock sale. All proceeds go to the youth of Garza County and their livestock projects. The meal will begin at 6. The sale will take place at 7 o'clock p.m. As we go back and mention from earlier today, the junior showmanship, the steer, sponsored by the Benchaka family. Senior showmanship steer, the Gilliland family. Junior showmanship swine, R&H Custom Works. Senior showmanship swine, the Carroll family. The reserve grand champion rabbit and the junior showmanship rabbit were sponsored by HF&C. The senior showmanship rabbit was sponsored by Odin Farms. The reserve grand champion lamb belt buckle was sponsored by Chuck and Christy Morris. And the junior showmanship and senior showmanship lamb sponsored by Win Resources. Speaking of the rabbits, we have those results for you from yesterday. The grand champion rabbit was Zachary Gatos. The reserve grand champion rabbit was Quinn Corley.
Okay, quickly for Post Sports Radio, getting ready for the spring season, of course. As we usually cover baseball and softball. Did a little track here and there. Last year we did, of course, you can call it winter into spring, powerlifting. We're still waiting to see what happens with powerlifting and what's going to happen here. But we do have the Bold Gold Caprock Relays coming on March 6th. No plans to cover that yet, but we'll let you know as soon as we decide on that. But a lot of track and field coming up. Last year we had a couple guys make it all the way down to Austin. Hope to do the same and maybe a couple more this year. We'll see how things go. Also, when it comes to powerlifting, Post will be hosting the regional meet for the boys.
On March 14th.
So we're looking at working with that as well.
Yes. And also, if you haven't looked at the district track meet yet, Floydada is hosting the district track meet. Mark your dates now. That is Thursday, April 9th and Friday, April 10th. Friday, April 17th is the 3 and 4 2A area meet up in Abernathy. Thursday, May 1st and Friday, May 2nd is the 2A Region 1 regional meet at WT. And then Friday, May 15th is the state meet in Austin. I will be there regardless because of the schools I cover.
Yeah, Russ, speaking of which, he writes for the Post-Dispatch and some sister newspapers of the Dispatch in other locations. So he stays busy just by covering the news, the written word. We appreciate you doing that, Russ.
You can catch me coming up on Monday. You'll have a few articles from me in the Post-Dispatch, as well as the Floyd County Hesperian Beacon and the Knox County News Courier. For Monday, over in Knox County for Monday, Benjamin and Knox City, and then the Floyd County Hesperian Beacon for Lockney and Floydada. And then the hometown here.
That's right.
In Southland. So,
and for the most part, you can do a lot of that work from here.
Yes.
Unless you have to be somewhere.
Because today's day and age, the results are readily available as opposed to what it was 20-something years ago.
Yeah. Where
you had to call somebody and make sure things there. Now you have avenues such as Max Preps, track. We've got Mile Split now. And then also for basketball, NFHS is a wonder because almost every school in the state of Texas is on it. And then we've also got Huddle because the coaches have to put stuff in the Huddle. And even if you don't even have a subscription to Huddle, you can just go in, type in the name of the school you're looking for, and just click on the schedule, and it'll give you their overall record and the teams that they played. So technology today has done wonders for the
media.
Yeah,
especially the guy who writes the stories.
Yeah, for the sports beat writers. All right, we're getting ready for the goats.
We're ready to roll.
Up first, we have your light class of the light division.
Our goat show with our light class. Our exhibitors are Avery Arthur, Rachel Arthur, and Rachel Arthur.
The grand champion belt buckle for the goat show is sponsored by Milton Williams. And the reserve grand champion buckle is sponsored by the Osborne family. Just remind everybody, Rachel Arthur took home the senior goat showmanship award yesterday, and Aaron Brooks, the junior showmanship award winner. And while it's fresh on my mind, the junior showmanship goat is sponsored by Heather and TJ Wetzel, and the senior showmanship goat is none other than the Wink family. Just a stark difference in weight. Lambs, they peaked around at 180-something pounds. These goats, these class of goats, range between 52 to 59 pounds in this class. So that's a sack of cottonseed, if you're wondering.
But they can jump a lot higher than the heifers.
Oh, yeah. I'm just glad they don't allow fainting goats. You know what I mean? Those fainting goats where if you just spook them, they just collapse. That would make for an interesting show.
That's a defense mechanism, huh?
I think so. There are two classes of the light division. This is the light lights, and then we have the light heavy follow up next.
start our class. The one in second's very similar. One that can be similar in type and package, and that one's a neat neck foot. It's got a great look. She gets him elevated and he presents himself very well. He handles with a good loin. He doesn't have quite as much rack shape. When you get up to the top side, he wants to be a little easier in the stop line there. He doesn't just have quite as much spread at the top side of the skeleton. Portion of that is just made on the skeleton spread and openness there. He gets the shot point closed up. He's got some muscle, but it's just a little more narrow and pieced together there. The one in third is a nice go from the outside. That one's got some symmetry and some lines to him. It reads well. He's got a good design. He's a good looking show goat. Get your hands on him. He's a little higher in the spine. Working down the top side. We just need to add a little bit more natural thickness and muscle to move up and deal more competitive on the top side of this class. Let's get around the ball some way. 1, 2, 3.
Congratulations in our light class. Avery Arthur was first, Rachel Arthur was second and third.
Congratulations to Avery Arthur. She is your class champion. Rachel Arthur, class runner-up, and third place.
This time our light heavy class needs to make way to head.
Up next is the light heavies. Aaron Brooks has 2 goats in this class, along with Morgan Tadlock and Rachel Arthur. Weights of this class are between 65 and 68 pounds.
This time, if you still have an unpaid tab at the concession stand, please clear that up. It is our last call for the concession stand. Thank you.
It's always the fun thing about stock show. There's a binder set up next to the cash register. It's for a list of charges. You can have a charge account and just write down, say, charge it to so-and-so.
So I should go check and see what you did. Did you put my name down there?
No.
Okay.
My little brother and I, one year, we did that to my dad one time just because it was so hot in here. We got thirsty. We were running back and forth from the concession stand getting drinks. And somebody caught my dad and said, "You got some unpaid charges." And he looked at both of us. He said, "What did y'all do?"
Heavy class are Aaron Brooks, Morgan Tadlock, Aaron Brooks, and Rachel Arthur.
And once we are done with the light heavy, we will then crown a light division champion before we move on to the medium division. second while we were talking about our spring sports earlier. Want to shout out the Bowl Gold and Lady Lopes that are competing today at Brownfield for their first powerlifting meet of the season.
In class 2, and water gets a little deeper here. I think there's a new class, and there's a lot of good quality individuals. One we're going to lead off with up here in front. I think that's a very stout built yoke. It's good-legged, he's fat-legged, he's moderate in terms of his length body. I think he balances up so well. When you get on the top side of it, he's wet back, he's got great shape, opens up the top of his cage with a tremendous amount of spread and muscularity. He's got a good loin, and he's working all the way back. Starts at his rack and finishes with the top side of his hip. Good place to begin with. Congratulations. Thank you, man. One in second, I thought was closely resembling the probably more moderate in type there, relative to the one in third. But I read this one as being similar in type to what we have in our class. But long neck, good body, good center, lines heat up. That's two. He's got great shape coming out of his rack and running back into a big loin. She ties them maybe a little bit rougher right into her hip loin junction there, and maybe not quite as stout in the feature when you read her from the breast, from the cavity to the surface, stout in her arm, leg, just a little bit, to run a little higher maybe with her class. The one in third is an interesting individual, and certainly not shy of muscle and not shy of shape. And I really like his handle when you go to the top of him. This one he's a little over in the front, and the way you kind of want to handle it, walk out here today, you kind of want to be a little bit down when he's running. I couldn't really tell if that's part of his attitude or if that's just kind of the way he's constructed. That one's got an elite build to it in terms of his handle there. Just want to elevate him up front, just give him a little more natural stature and design to him when he gets out of the profile and gets that move. But a very good goat that's built there very good. The one that's going to round out our class there is just a little greener in top, bigger in outline, good in design. Just doesn't have as much natural thickness and shape and as much openness to the top of the skeleton is what we have with the contemporary in this class. Let's give a round of applause for the new class. Congratulations.
Our light heavy class winners. First place is Aaron Brooks. Second place is Morgan Tadlock. Third place was Aaron Brooks. Fourth place was Rachel Arthur.
Congratulations to Aaron Burks. He has a class champion in a third place. Morgan Tadlock is your class runner-up. Rachel Arthur takes home fourth. Now we'll go for the light division champion. Shout out our cameraman during football season, old Mike Travis down there in the holding pen. It looks like he's just watching, supervising to make sure everything goes according to plan.
Yeah. He missed us last night. We went to his favorite restaurant in Abernathy. Sent him a picture of it. He missed out on a good blizzard.
So making sure that all class champions and class runner-ups from the light and light heavies are down in the holding pen to get this up and running. So it goes in order from class champions to class runner-ups is how they come out of the holding pen. Avery Arthur with her class champion.
For our light exhibition, we have Avery Arthur, Rachel Arthur, Aaron Brooks, and Morgan Tapper.
Avery Arthur had, I believe, had the class champion in the light class, and Aaron Brooks with the class champion in the heavy class, along with Rachel Arthur and Morgan Tadlock. The other two class were the two class runner-ups.
A round of applause for our exhibitors here in the lightweight division. Work through a good show. We'll get our class players on this near side, ring side. I think they're a good pair, good looking, and both of them got a lot to this in terms of their look, the overall deal. There's one that suits you pretty well. You can see it off to the side just in terms of muscularity and bone and build, and yet still maintaining symmetry and look. And the one that young man here that wins class 2 will be champion division.
Congratulations to Aaron Brooks. He is your light division champion. Morgan Tadlock is your light reserve division champion. Up next, we move ahead to the medium division. There are two classes.
Congratulations to our light division champion, Aaron Brooks, and our light division reserve champion, Morgan Tapper.
Up next is our light class of our medium division. Avery Arthur and Sarah Tadlock are in this class.
Medium light class, please report to the board.
It is Avery Arthur with one goat, and Sarah Tadlock has two goats in this class.
For our medium light class, our exhibitors are Avery Arthur, Sarah Tadlock, and Sarah Tadlock.
Want to give a quick shout out to the Lady Raiders. Played earlier today. They took down the Cincinnati Bearcats 71-60 to move to 18-0 on the year.
Man, what a season. Usually when they'd have a great pre-conference season, then implode during the conference games, but holding up this year so far.
Beating Baylor had a lot to do with it.
There you go. Good way to start it off.
And get this, Jim, they closed the month playing TCU here in about 2.5 weeks. So you've already, fun fact, they've already beaten 2 of the top 4 teams from last year's conference standings. They still have yet to play Oklahoma State, who finished in 4th, and they have yet to play the reigning Big 12 champs in the TCU Lady Frogs.
And also they haven't had the opportunity to use the new
7-footer.
7'1" lady from Africa to help out. But, I heard guys on the radio saying, everything's working good so well. Why do you want to shake it up? Put her in there when you need her.
Well, she'll give you something that you need going forward. I can promise you that.
Oh, yeah.
The men play at Colorado later today. After, I believe, about an hour after we get done. They're on the CBS Sports Network, so you'll be able to get that.
6 o'clock?
Yes.
Okay.
They have a good test against the Colorado Buffaloes team that's averaging 90 points a game. So this is going to be a great test for them. Then we have a couple of NFL playoff games tonight. The Bears and the Packers on Amazon Prime. And then the Rams. Forget who the Rams play. Either way, they play tonight.
Here, Rams are a favorite, or one of the favorites to make it to the Super Bowl.
Their quarterback is the leading favorite to get the MVP award this year.
What about them Cowboys?
Going through some changes.
It's difficult to be a Cowboy fan.
It's like that old hee-haw song, gloom, despair, and agony on me. Who would have thought you'd get a hee-haw reference on Post Sports Radio? Add that to your bingo card. We've already got 2 mentions from the Winehouse and Brady's. I'll add a hee-haw to that.
It's class 3. We got a nice group, got the field here, and I like these things a good bit. I think there's a really good pair here at the top that are very similar, and they're type and design, and I think there's some subtle differences. One we lead off with, run, and the young lady at the end is going to win. There's a nice go. Good lines. You remember the balls. Really good lines, and that was tubular, but that one doesn't flat. He's got good body shape. His rib design is good. Gives you some turn. He gives you great handle up over his rack and then back to his loin. Thought he's really impressive in terms of maintaining his depth and thickness of his loin. He ties back into a good square hip and rump. He does it with good bone. Up the top 2, maybe he steps just a nickel lower, right up out of his front end. At times there, and maybe that's where the advantage lies with the kind of painted goat there that ends up at second. One in second is similar in type and in terms of maintaining some length body, but having some spread, some shape up high. It comes with a similar handle up over his rack. You get back into his loin. Thought he may play out just a little bit flatter today in that regard. That one's bone and feature and look are very, very good. He does it with the kind of neat color pattern to go along with it. Young ladies are finished third with the white goat, and that's a nice one. Off to the side, his line and symmetry, he's neat necked and got some bone and some feature. I think this one is a little closed up at the top of the skeleton there, but we didn't have quite as much mention of muscle kind of working back as we get to the rack and the loin. But good goat as well. So let's give all around the applause for big class.
Congratulations to Sarah Tadlock. She takes home your medium light class champion and class runner-up. Avery Arthur takes home 3rd place in the class.
For our medium light class, first place was Sarah Tadlock, second place was Sarah Tadlock, and third place was Avery Arthur. That brings us to our medium heavy class. Our exhibitors will be Cheyenne Atchison, Morgan Tadlock, Zoe Relay, Keeklin Wink, and Sarah Tadlock.
So right now this is the medium heavy class. Cheyenne Atchison, Morgan Tadlock, Zoe Ray, Keithlin Wink, and Sarah Tadlock. Keithland, the younger brother of Casenwink.
Sorry, folks. Got the camera straight for you.
Once again, out there is Cheyenne Atchison, Morgan Tadlock, Zoe Ray, Keithland Wink, and Sarah Tadlock. This is the last class of the medium the medium division. Following the crowning of the class champion of the medium heavies, we will then crown a medium division champion, and then we'll move on to our final division of the afternoon. Then once that's done, you'll have the Pee Wee Goat Show, and you'll see the biggest mass exodus of animals the county has ever seen. Where it's a mad dash to who gets to their trailer first. Cheyenne's goat's just being a little bit stubborn. Jim, I gotta say, it makes me wonder if Mr. Bevel is a county extension agent, because it's rare that you have one judge across all shows, where you have the same judge as the show that judge the heifers and the steers, also judge the pigs, and then judges the lambs and the goats. That's rare. Rare these days. Because traditionally, with what you see is you'll get different judges for different shows.
Well, Judge Norman did the Pee Wee swine, didn't he?
Yes.
He doesn't count, though.
Good class here, and we get 5, and then, I guess it's class 4. And anyway, 5-header, but a good group. And what we lead off with, what makes the most complete, so here's a stout feature one that reads with the bone, the build, the body, really immaculate. His top side, his handle, incredibly good shape, coming out of his rack and working back into a loin that's thick and wide and stout. That one doesn't feather a bit. He transitions back into his hip really well. That was hip and the design of his hip and the thickness and the proportions of muscle that he's got working back not only behind him but on his top side. He does it with symmetry and levelness and a good pattern. It's a good way to start a class. Congratulations to this young lady. The one in seconds, give her a round of applause. The one in seconds and only good individual as well. And the one that thinks he's a little different type than what he's surrounded by there. That one is a long neck one, but he's got incredibly big feet, legs, and limbs. And he's got a big time look when you get off the side of him. Get your hands on him over the top side. His rib cage is a great design to it. It's got turn. He's able to put some shape, some thickness, and muscle up high. He handles well coming out of his rack. And maybe doesn't have quite as much pop as what we have with our class sweater, but very good one. He doesn't have quite as much thickness as Mitchie Record with his board. He's really firm in his handle. He's got a good look to it, but when you measure him compared to the one in third, maybe I give the advantage just back to the loin area to the one in third. I thought that one was very good. That one has got a similar body type, probably a little bit longer in his hip. I love his spread up high. I didn't read him with as much feature and bone and just stoutness there as maybe what I had with particularly the one there in front of him, but that's a very good individual in his own right. The young ladies, female, she's got a nice one too. This one's bigger body, bigger center. He's got some body and rib. I like those things about that one. That one's shaped and spread is good up high. I didn't read him as again just quite a stoutness feature. I didn't read him as elevated right as his present like just elevated just a little bit or her just a little bit and make her a little leader in terms of her front end relative to the ones that are finished just above it. Young lady's going to round out her group here at the end, and she's got a good pattern, good build. One that's got some grow and go and still maintains the look and dimension up high. This one is the steepest and shortest in his run. Everyone kind of wants to get a little more tough underneath himself as he gets around. I like his bone, I like his build. Present for still all around of applause if you will.
Congratulations to Morgan Tadlock, who's your class champion. Keithlin Wink, your class runner-up. And we'll get confirmation from
Congratulations for our medium heavy exhibitors. In first place, we had Morgan Tadlock. Second place was Keithlin Wink. Third place was Zoe Ray. Fourth place was Sarah Tadlock. And fifth place was Cheyenne Atchison.
Zoe Ray took home third place. Sarah Tadlock fourth. Cheyenne Atchison fifth. Now, the 2 class champions and the 2 class runner-ups
We'll now have our medium division drive.
will return to the holding pen, and we'll begin the drive for the medium division champion. So Sarah Tadlock has 2 goats in this one, and Keithlin Wink and Morgan Tadlock.
good group here as we get the middleweight division. Let's put our hands together for these exhibitors we've had in this very classic. Good group, good job. And goats get tired and they start kind of fighting over a little bit, but appreciate her kind of hanging in there and just working her way through that. And so, as we compare our two class owners here, again, I think theirs is pretty similar just in terms of their design and build, their levelness, and their good that they have in their skeleton, I think is there. And then we get into some shape and some muscle compression skills today. And maybe who's a little rangy today or whatever, but just individually, the ones on my right and standing up out in front of the line there, that's a good balance, good design, with its useful in its look and design. I think he's got a huge front arm, and he's got a good turn through his rib cage. He gives you some shape and freshness up high, gives you some thickness and fullness back through his loin, and then I think he's got enough muscle when you get right behind him. You like his length of hip and depth to his leg and muscle. Maybe he doesn't have quite as much pop when you get right behind him relative to his contemporary that sits behind him. The young lady here has got one that's really tubular. He's rolled up high, he's fresh back, and shape from his rack back to his loin. He doesn't have quite as much turn and roll to his rib cage as what we had with the other one. Really a stout feature one that reads well for the big feet, big legs, and when you get behind him, he's really big in it. The length of hip allows him to maintain that, but he's got the muscle and the spread that he's got to the stop and the lower legs is very impressive. So a good group of individuals. The seconds there, we talked to him a minute ago. Young man in white shirt's got one that's really unique looking one. Huge arms and legs back there with some stretch and an extra neat design up front. One that is very powerfully constructed. It's got a lot to it. Look at the top side. He's not as long in the upper hip as maybe what we have with the one that needs to be class. A unique individual will be a lot of fun to see how he kind of gets along down the road. And the paint goat there that we have is another one similar in type to her classmate. That one, body shape and turn and muscle up high was good, and that's fresh and beautiful, and again, looks like doing the right thing. So best of luck to all of them. We find the best one here. I've got the other lady in front of me. Congratulations to her. Everybody gives a big round.
Congratulations to Morgan Tadlock with your medium division champion, and Sarah Tadlock, your reserve medium division champion.
Twin sisters.
So now we move on.
Congratulations to our medium division champion, Morgan Tadlock, and our reserve division champion, Sarah Tadlock, for our medium division. Next, we will have our heavy goat division, starting off with the heavy light class.
So now we're on to our final division of the afternoon. So we start the heavy division with our light class of the light heavies. In this class is Morgan Tadlock, Keithlyn Wink, Zoe Ray, Jacoby Berrigan, and Zoe Ray has another goat in this class. She'll have two.
Zoe happens to be the cousin of the Tadlock twins. So they hang out together, obviously.
The weights of these goats range from 87 pounds to 95 pounds. I guarantee you, Jim, when we pack everything up and we step outside, it'll be a literal breath of fresh air.
Literally.
Yes.
I guess if you had bad allergies, you do have allergies, but if you had bad allergies, you couldn't even do this.
The steer part, they keep it outside, and it made me wonder when I showed steers my senior year, it made me wonder why.
Heavy light class exhibitors are Morgan Tapa, Keith Wink, Zoe Ray, Cody Barrington, and Zoe Ray.
It made Jake and I both wonder why we didn't do that sooner. Because, man, it is a night and day difference from the steer barn to the actual barn in here. And it's like that at every major show, too. I'll never forget, we showed at Houston over the week after spring break in 2017. And the steer part of the show barn is completely different from the pig part on the opposite end of the barn. When you walk over to the pig barn, it's about like it is here. You start sneezing, can barely breathe. Then when you walk over to the steers, it's like, that's how it was. That is a goat. Again, in this first class of heavies is Morgan Tadlock, Keithlyn Wink, Zoe Ray with 2 of her goats, and Jacoby Berrigan. Zoe is getting help from Sarah Tadlock, showing the other of her 2 goats. Speaking of helping other exhibitors, in the holding pen, Cody Osborne is helping Owen Cole show another one of her goats that's in the same class. So it looks like the judge has it lined up the way he wants them. If the pattern continues from how he's done the goat shows thus far, looks like Keithlyn Wink will win. Will win this class, and Zoe Ray will take home class runner-up. Followed by Morgan Tadlock and then the second of Zoe Ray's goats, and then Jacoby Berrigan. Again, that's assuming he continues this trend that he started the goat show off with and did with the lambs as well.
Good class here, and I think that there's a lot of similarities, and certainly you can flip them around a little bit in there, but I'll tell you where I lined them up and why I have the one of the young man in white shirts in the lead off the class, and a very good individual. And this is like one that's got tremendous shape and firmness and handle, and he's really impressive over his rack, and just the amount of power and shape he brings, and it never deviates. He stays wide and true. He's dead level in his go. They want to get up a little bit, his jump muscle there, but as he comes out of his lower and the top side of his hip, but that's a very good one. It's big bone, big legged, built right, smooth pattern. Good way to start a class. The one in second, I like that one a good bit. And when she comes in, I can tell she's going to be kind of in the top end of that thing. Really opens up and is powerfully constructed. Everything about her reads power. Therefore, she is making, she's got a little bit more neck in her compared to maybe her contemporaries on either side of her. Boy, she flat opens up and gives you great shape coming out of her rack. Young lady gets up and stuck to the ground, and she continues back before spread, the tension back to her loin, and what we had in third. I thought the one in third was very good and very, very similar to the one in second here in front of her. That one had a similar shape to her rack, and both of them is a wash there. When you get back into the loin, I didn't think that one had quite as much width. Quite as much tension there. Then as we read it back into her leg and hip, thought the one in second just got a shot more power, but again, well presented and another high-end, high-quality kind of goat to be in the top three. The one here in fourth, the young lady's goat's very nice, and she probably has just a little more feel, a little more center. She rolls into just a little more front to her contemporary. It's not quite as much stretch, but that one is very shapely. She's stretched back, gives you some spread and some dimension that he can firm to the handle. The young lady's going to be fifth in that class. There's a nice goat that was tall shoulder. That's the muscle, but not quite as firm to the handle today. But let's give all a round of applause on a good class.
Congratulations to our heavyweight class. Winner Caitlin Week. Second place was Zoe Ray. Third place was Morgan Tadlock. Fourth place was Zoe Ray. Fifth place was Jacoby Berrigan. We will now move into our heavy class.
Yeah, congratulations to Keithlin Wink, your class champion. Zoe Ray, class runner-up. Morgan Tadlock in third. Zoe Ray also with a fourth place, and Jacoby Berrigan rounds out the class in
Our
fifth.
exhibitors for this class will be Cheyenne Atchison, Owen Coleman, Jacoby Berrigan, and Owen Coleman.
So this is the final class of the heavies. Cheyenne Atchison out there with a goat. Owen Cole has two. Cody Osborne is helping Owen show one of hers, and then Jacoby Berrigan has a goat in this class as well. again, this is the final class of the heavy division. The weights of the goats in this class range from 97 pounds to 106 pounds. Also, the grand champion goat belt buckle, sponsored by Milton Williams, and the reserve grand champion buckle, sponsored by the Osborne family. Again, just a reminder, Rachel Arthur took home the senior goat showmanship. Aaron Brooks took home the junior goat showmanship. And those buckles, the junior showmanship goat was sponsored by the Wink family. And the junior showmanship goat was sponsored by Heather and TJ Wetzel. And this must be a tough group of goats to choose from, because normally the judge, by now, he's typically got his order set out. Let's see what he wants to have him do. Is he's not a goat shower, so I can't tell you what he's looking for. So if the pattern holds, congratulations to Owen Cole with a reserve and with a class champion and class runner-up. Cheyenne Atchison third, and Jacoby Berrigan rounding out the class. That's if the pattern continues. He is at the liberty to change his mind. I've seen it done. I've seen it happen in person before.
good class here, and there's some give and take. One we leave it with is, I think, is the most complete one. Going off the side, he gets you a good profile, and he's built right in that regard. I think you get your hands on him. He's the furthest, he's the squarest, out of his rack and back to his loin. He's the trimmest up over his cage, and I think his condition's about right. He's one that initially there, I don't know if he's the biggest legged one in any particular class. I think that position lies with the one that finishes just behind him, but he is big chested, he's neat neck, he's tall shouldered, but she kind of gets him gathered and set him where she wants him there. He's got a great handling feel and works his way back, and I think plenty of muscle to get behind him. The paint goat's intriguing one for me. This one's big legged, and certainly he's got a little extra help there, but that one's got a good shape to his rack. I thought he's interesting in he's short back and he holds together well. So when you get back to his loin, he doesn't have as much natural thickness and spread there as what we had with the class winner. And I'd like to kind of just give him a little bit more there. And I'm sure that comes with the final push and trying to get that extra there. But he's a little softer in the handle relative to our class winner. They're nice go, no doubt about it. The one in third is an interesting one as well. And I'd like for him to just push and show a little bit harder. That's one that gives you a great big forearm, gives you a big leg and limb working on either end. His symmetry's good. You get your hands on him up high. I think he's got some natural spread. I think when you kind of get the final bell and the final whistle for him, and we get him dialed in there, I think that one too has got a lot of value in moving forward. I think his fundamentals are very good. The one here at 4 is a nice scope, probably a little better up front in terms of his head and neck and just his angle that he's got there. He wants to be just a little bit softer behind the shoulder blade. Just dips a little bit when you get off to the side of him. You get your hands on him there, and he's good. He just doesn't have as much pop just yet. That was good back to his loin, back to his hip, and I think it's a good build outside of that. Just need to elevate him there, whether that's going to be showing that way or he just kind of creates more shape and muscle moving forward. But good class, top 4 there. Let's give a round of applause.
Once again, congratulations to Owen Cole. She has your class champion and your class runner-up. Cheyenne Atchison in third, and Jacoby Berrigan rounds out the class. As now we have every class champion, every class runner-up, or every division champion.
Winner was Owen Cole. Second place was Owen Cole. Third place was Cheyenne Atchison. Fourth place was Jacoby Berrigan. Now for our heavy division draft.
So now the class winners and the class runner-up. So we got Keithlyn Wink and Owen Cole and Zoe Ray and Owen Cole out there again via Cody Osborne. Then once this division champion is settled, we'll then bring back every division champion and division runner-up and crown a grand champion goat and a reserve champion goat, followed by a Pee Wee Goat Show. And then the next time you hear our voices, we'll be live at the Antelope Arena on Tuesday for Rawls.
Correct. Rawls Rabbits.
Got round of applause for our heavy division exhibitors. Good bids here, and pleased with the class winners and the seconds there. I thought those classes were good and helpful. The quality was good, kind of working all the way down through those things. And that's a lot moving forward as we try to find us a champion. We try to find the one that maybe is most memorable when you see them initially, and that initial imprint is so important. I think anytime you're judging, you try to find that one that a lot of times they'll hit initially, and then they work their way through and they meet the demands and the ask of them. I think there's one in here that did that, got in here on the end of making champion.
Congratulations to Keith and Wink. He is your heavy division champion.
There, and the young lady in second, talking about that in class, and I thought that was feature and bone was good enough, and I thought he was just incredible on the top side of the scabby, just the shape and muscle and that brings to the table. Get behind him, he's really big-ended, but he's square pin, the muscle carries low, and I think you like just a lot of things about him. He really, again, once you get your hand on him, that come out and drag him back through his loin, that spread, muscle, and shape just maintain and carry all the way back. The class winner out of the last class, I thought that one was very good, and I thought he landed in a class that worked really well for him for his weight and size. You know, maybe there's a question mark there, but I thought just his handle and the way he's kind of constructed and put together on the top side of his academy allowed him to get to this point. Congratulate the young lady down there at the end, second in that.
Congratulations to Zoe Ray, as she is your reserve heavy division champion. So now, every division champion, every reserve division champion is in the holding pen as we are.
Congratulations in our heavy division. Our division champion was Keithlin Wink. Our reserve champion was Zoe Ray. At this time, we will do our champion drive.
This is the champion drive for the GOAT Show. I don't know if you can tell, Jim, but already behind me and across the way it happened during lunch, but all the pig supplies were packed up into their trailers, and behind me, same can be said. You can pack up your equipment, you just can't take your animals out of the barn yet.
Post Sports Radio has a lot of equipment to haul around. And look at the corner set up. The family occupied the corner, brought in their own heating system and everything. Don't blame them.
Oh yeah, that is normal. A couple people from on the Southland end of the pig barn, on the pig side of the barn, yonder way they did that. And Jim, you'll see this more often at major shows. At places like Fort Worth, when it's like 25 degrees outside and snowing, you'll see people bring portable space heaters, and it's common that you'll see families bring a big Yeti cooler full of sandwich supplies.
Oh yeah, you have to.
Save you some money instead of going out to the fair and eating fair food all week long.
year deal has been some outstanding things that have happened in Garza County over the years as well. And so a lot of fun to get to be here. I want to say thank you for the opportunity. I've enjoyed working through these guys and young ladies, and the quality of livestock you have here is very good. I would say the kids have been all good. They thank you, they look you in the eye, they shake your hand, they talk to you, and ultimately at the end of the day, those are the things we're trying to build. Livestock's going to come and go, but I think the quality of young people, the next generation that we're building, I think is highly important. And so I would say one thing before we get some champion. The show, the county show, I hate to love it. We're all on social media, we all see stuff or whatever. One of the things that if you get out there and you look, I've got friends all across the United States that are involved in one segment or the other of livestock deals. The concern right now is that no matter what state you're at, it's just are we seeing a decrease or increase in students and participation, the families staying hooked in this deal. And I think across the board that becomes a concern. We all know that. And not to be negative, but I would say let's increase the positivity. And so promote it with positive remarks. So let folks know what good we get from this, what good our kids get from it, what it does for our families, and also what are we building? And we're building young people. And so we know we put something up, you get clicks and likes and all that kind of stuff. But I think just stay positive with what you're doing and try to promote within your community and try to get others to see the value of it and maybe get them to be involved a little bit. And then what we do, we're competitive nature. And I would say this, and I've teacher friends over the years, we've talked about it, we're bad to eat our own. Meaning, we're so competitive that we won't help somebody else. Let's try to find folks and find other kids and they've all got buddies and get them engaged and going in a little bit and encourage them and help them to take the right steps to where they can have some success and at least feel good about what they're doing and then we kind of get them down the road. That's how you kind of grow. I know that a lot of folks around here, around ringside, feel the same way, and so that's my encouragement word we've heard today, I guess. And so again, great set of kids, great set of goals. I think as we look at our class winners, I'm trying to keep a similar pattern, trying to find value in skeleton, try to find value in bone and build and that kind of thing, and then get them shaped up and let them be as smooth and patterned as they can, both in a symmetry, just with eyeball, and when you get your hands on them, you'll be able to find we're dealing with meat animals here, so some hard muscle shape, some meat animal muscle shape, but keep some rib and design and build in them, but do it with big arms and legs, and then keep the front ends correct, keep your head and necks coming out the top side. Release it all up. Kids have worked hard over time. Encourage them, love them, thank them for continuing to get through maybe a good time or a bad time today, but just to uplift them. The kids, again, like I said earlier, is a big deal. Tell your parents thank you for allowing you to do this. And, it's not an easy endeavor. It's a marathon, but just thank them for that and vice versa. So with that said, we'll get some champion reserve here at the end. But once again, thanks for the opportunity to be here and really enjoyed the day. One more time, round of applause for all your exhibitors.
Congratulations to Aaron Brooks, Grand Champion Goat. Keithlin Wink, Reserve Champion Goat. That'll do it for your exhibitors.
Aaron Brooks, and our reserve champion was Keithlin Wink.
So we'll get set for the Pee Wee Goat Show.
Pee-wees, please make your way to the pen.
Pee Wee Goat Show's last, right?
Yes. Pee Wee Goat Show's last, and then we get to go home. Well, we got the chance. I want to thank everybody that had a hand in putting today's 62nd annual Garza County Junior Livestock Show together. Your 25, 26 officers for the GCJLA. Augie Machaca is your sitting president, your vice president, Matt Dorsett. Recording secretary is Patrick Carroll. Your past president was Will Osborne. Corresponding secretary, Crystal Osborne. And your 3 members at large are Joel Basinger, Warren Brooks, and Rick Tadlock. Your stock show superintendents for today, Nancy Morris was the swine, lamb, and goat superintendent. Tanya Gilliland was the heifer and steer superintendent. And Daniel Peterson was the rabbit superintendent for the show yesterday afternoon. Our advisors for today was Gary Gilliland, the Post High School ag instructor, Brad Gatos, Southland school ag instructor, and Daniel Peterson, Garza County extension agent.
The stock show doesn't really end today. It goes on Thursday as well for the GCJLA Buyer's Meal and Sale Rush. Can you read the rest of that?
Yes. So the GCJLA says we are excited to invite you to our upcoming county livestock sale. All proceeds go to the youth of the Garza County and their livestock projects. It is Thursday, January 15th at the Post High School at 307 West 4th. The meal begins at 6. The sale will begin at 7.
The association wants to take this minute to thank a couple of people. Of course, the Holy Cross Catholic Church for doing our concession stand this year, and all of the people that were involved in that. Our announcer this year was Peyton Patterson, our principal at the high school here at Coast, and of course our judge again, Brad Bevel. Let's give them a round of applause.
Special guests this year, Peyton Patterson, the high school principal, was the stock show announcer. Brad Bevel was the stock show judge for all of the shows today. Mandy Couch was the rabbit judge yesterday. Judge Lee Norman, or as I should say, current sitting judge Lee Norman, is the Pee Wee judges. Thursday, your auctioneer will be Stan Young. Photographer in the ring today is Ron Francis, and they gave us a shout out as well. Also, we want to say congratulations to all of the graduating seniors of the class of 2026. It says in the program that we are proud of you and all your accomplishments. You did it. The 3 seniors showing today from Post ISD are Reese Huffaker, Ryland Morris, and Cody Osborne, and Audrey Lee, the lone senior showing from Southland ISD. And also, while we got the chance, I want to thank all of the sponsors, banners that you see hanging around the arena. We got HFNC and the Garza County Animal Hospital. We got Rafter 3, Judge Lee and Marcia Norman, Garza County, the Garza County office of Texas Farm Bureau, Hudgens Pump Services out of Tahoka, Polka Lambro, another banner that I can't see, word or whoever's logo that is, I can't see because of the boards. Post Stampede Rodeo, Black Gold, and because we're not a part of a UIL broadcast today, we want to thank Brady's Package Store and the Wine House for all that these guys have done for the community, and Lenegar Electric Cooperative. So thanks to everyone who's got a banner up in here and everybody that's supported these kids and put an investment into the future of this thing and to keep it going and put an actual investment into the community.
Exactly. Quite a few people involved.
I've heard for years that it takes a village to put all this together, and you don't realize how many people it takes behind the scenes. And as long as you agree that you're doing this for the kids, And you're not doing it for yourself. You've got the right mindset to keep this thing going forward. And congratulations to everybody that exhibited today. And just remember, for all the family watching and listening, this is all one person's opinion. So if for whatever reason we wanted to have another Garza County Junior Livestock Show next weekend, we could have a different judge, and we rack them all up again, and we do the same thing next week. We bring in a different judge. I guarantee you the results will change.
Sure.
So this is all the opinion of one person. So your hard work going into today does not go unnoticed, and it doesn't go unrecognized. Because you will reap the benefits of your work Thursday night. Also want to give a shout out to Bella Hayek and Audrey Lee, because a few times today they were taking pictures.
Yeah.
Roland Morris was also taking pictures as well. So shout out to both schools with photography programs here today taking pictures. Helps a brother out getting pictures in the paper.
And they do a good job.
Yes, they do.
Thank you, Crystal.
Yeah, thank you.
And all the others who participated. Daniel Carroll's mom's over there, too.
If my lamb and goat people would like to head on over to the banner, Ron Francis will be over there to make those pictures.
Okay, that pretty much wraps it up, right?
Pretty much.
All right, so once again, thanks to Crystal Osborne and the whole staff with the Garza County Junior Livestock Association. This being the 62nd annual event on this January 10th. Of course, we streamed it today. There was events yesterday as well. But we thank you for joining us. We do invite you to our next broadcast, which will be coming up on Tuesday night from Antelope Arena. A basketball doubleheader against the Rawls Rabbits, or Lady Rabbits and the Rabbits, on Post Sports Radio's YouTube channel. So anything else you need to add, Russ?
No, just come on out and support your Bowl Gold and your Lady Lopes on Tuesday. And we're fixing to get in the heart of the spring season where everything's going to be going on, a day at a time pretty much. So we're fixing to get right in the heart of it with powerlifting already beginning today.
Yeah, spring is crazy. Anyway, also special thanks to our streaming partners today, Smokin' Dick's Barbecue, Flow Health and Fitness, and also Buffalo Creek Threads for allowing us to do this, and because of them we were able to do it. So y'all have a great weekend. God bless. See you at church on Sunday, and
keep hope alive, everybody.